Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, that is big time stuff. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, 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 baby.
Yes. How we doing, everybody? It's your boy Nick Harksen over here on Touchdown Detroit Lions on the Syndicate Sports Detroit network. It is not a good day to be a Detroit Lions fan, or maybe it is. We had a great season, but it is not a Victory Tuesday. It's not a Victory Tuesday. Unfortunately, we could not get the job done. And so here we are. It's officially off season for us Lions fans and the Lions. And a lot of things to talk about because a lot has been happening over the last few days after we lost to the Commanders. And, props to the Commanders. They were definitely the better team that day. We played way out of character. Dan Campbell said in his press conference, if we even would have brought our B game, we would have came away with a victory there. But a lot of bad things went down that game, and we will talk about that. But Perry Ball, good to see you in here. John Peterson says, go Lions. And Perry Ball says, hey, Nick, how are you? I'm doing okay. I was on Saturday night. I was not as good. I was pretty upset. But it's football. This is what happens sometimes. So you got to just roll with the punches and you got to move on. And we do have next year. But I was really hoping that this year was our year. Even though we were banged up, I really truly believed in this team. And I thought that, they had enough firepower. And we're going to get the job done, at least on Saturday, to get to the NFC Championship game. But nope, did not happen. Goff didn't have the best game, throwing a few picks, fumbling in a big-time situation where I thought the game completely turned around for the Commanders in their favor. They took over all the momentum. But, Ben Johnson, we got some news to talk about him. I don't think that he had his best play-calling game either. But, the Lions ended up losing by more than a few scores. And, it is what it is. Jalen, we could not stop their defense, or we could not stop their offense at all. We were just giving the ball up. That pick six was horrendous. I will give Jared Goff the pick at the end of the half, just going for it. But then again, if you don't throw that pick, maybe we're coming up with 3 points. The defense did stop them coming out of the half. We scored a touchdown. It's a tie ball game there. But the biggest factor to me during the game was that 3rd and 1 when we went for it, or, we had to go for it. It's 3rd and 1, but we decided to pass, and we didn't have a running back in the backfield at all. And we were down on like the 14-yard line. We pick up that first down. We go down and we score a touchdown. We're up 14-3 there. Completely different ball game. At the very worst, we're up 10-3, and it's still different. They don't go down and take the lead with their next score. But, that was an instance right there, and I get what they're doing. We've done this all year long. It's 3rd and 1. They want to get their look, maybe take a shot at the end zone, and then if they don't get it, they're going to go for it on 4th and 1 and pound it up the middle. Well, this is the game to not get too cute here, okay? Just get that first down and get the touchdown after that. Or at least put a running back in the backfield to make it seem like we might run it, because then they're sending everybody. Goff had no chance. I mean, maybe get rid of the ball quicker, but they sent the house. They got to Goff. He fumbled. We turned the ball over. They take the lead. Momentum completely shifted at that moment. Now, we did come back. We answered, a few times, but the turnover battle got to us. I do want to give Sam Laporta props for an amazing catch, though, in the back of the end zone. Sam Laporta, Goff had a nice pass to him, but that one-handed grab was the number one highlight on SportsCenter. So I guess we got some positivity coming out of that game right there. Shout out to Sam Laporta and those hands. But, Goff, he was very disappointed in himself. Dan Campbell, after the game, you saw him. He cried in the presser. He blamed everything on himself. He said that 12 men on the field was his fault. He should have called the timeout. He didn't. Why were there 12 men out there in the first place? Of course, you saw the clip of all the coaches yelling at the players, one of them to get off, but they can't hear you, and the crowd is going insane in that moment. So just a very unfortunate timing to have that as well, because that was on a 4th down to where we could have got off the field and maybe had a comeback there. But then the one thing too that really, really, made my blood boil was when it was the drive of our lives. We had to stay in the game. We were down 10, and you have Jameson Williams throw the football. No disrespect to J-Mo. J-Mo was told to do what he wanted to do, or what he had to do. In that instance, yes, J-Mo probably throw it out of bounds, but don't put that on J-Mo. Don't give him the ball to make that decision in that spot of our season, in the playoffs, when we absolutely have to go down and score. You do not give it to J-Mo to make the decision to either throw it out of bounds or throw it, because 9 times out of 10, these receivers want to complete a pass, and he probably thought he had the arm power to get it to Gibbs. Well, he didn't, and it was a pick. That's all on Ben Johnson. That was a terrible play call. In that moment for what was at stake. You just do not call that. I get where you're trying to go. We did have a few nice trick plays earlier on in the game. The one when Teddy Bridgewater was in. Shout out to Teddy. Thank you for coming in and doing your thing and going and scoring, getting a touchdown drive in the playoffs after being a coach all year. But, that reverse to J-Mo, that worked out nice. The little, pitch from Montgomery down to Amon-Ra, that was real nice too. But when you're down 10 and you absolutely need to score, you're in the 4th quarter and you have, 10 minutes left, I think it was, maybe less. You don't give the ball to Jameson Williams to try and throw for a 1st down or a touchdown. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't do that. That was a very dumb play call. And, now we don't have to worry about that so much anymore. But I'm going to get over here to the comments. I see you guys going off before, I get into some more rantiness over here. But Perry Ball says, the loss hurts, but with all the injuries on defense, catch up for us. Yeah, the injuries were huge. They finally caught up, and it didn't help that, Branch got hurt during the game. He kept coming in and out. Amik Robertson out immediately with a broken arm, and he had to have surgery, so he's done, for the whole entire game. And then if he got hurt, we just had guys getting hurt when we were already hurt, and we can't have that. So they were tearing us up. They were taking advantage of it. We didn't really have a good plan in place for, their type of game. They were just running little bubble screens and all this stuff and making huge plays out of it, and we just couldn't tackle. It was terrible, poor tackling. Dan Campbell said it at half. He said, tackle, 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 tackle. We couldn't tackle. And then at the end of the game, he saw that we had to go to a guy at safety who had 1 snap prior to that game. So, yeah, injuries definitely caught up with us. We are going to lose some pieces next year. We'll get into that talk with all the free agents that we have. But I think that we're going to be fine. We're going to get Hutch back. We're going to get Aleem McNeil back. We're probably going to make some moves in free agency. We'll have Malcolm Rodriguez back. I don't know what we're going to do with Derek Barnes. Maybe he'll be back. But, there's going to be a ton of people back who were injured who could have made a huge difference for us this year. And we're going to pick up more people. The draft is going to be there. We're going to talk all this today. We're going to talk it all. But I agree with you, Perry. We will be good going into next year. The Super Bowl window is not closed, as Dan Campbell said. The Super Bowl window is not closed. Perry Ball said we made too many turnovers. That is correct. And Perry also says we have trouble with mobile quarterbacks. Yes, they were making us look foolish. They knew exactly what they needed to do against us. We couldn't get them off the field on 4th down. They were taking a script out of our own book and using it, as a huge weapon against us. We cannot get them off the field. The first 4th down they went for, I thought was great. I don't know if we got lucky, but we made a good play on Mariota there. And maybe Allen Robinson kind of messed, or not Allen Robinson, but Robinson, their running back, maybe messed them up and ran into Mariota trying to push him when he was trying to pitch it back. But that was a good 4th down stand right there. But other than that, we could not get them off the field at all. And when your offense is having turnovers and your defense can't stop anybody, that is a formula for failure. And that is exactly what happened. Mary Peterson. Hi, Nick. Good to see you in here, Mary. Disappointing game, but I'm still a big fan. Yes, we're all still fans over here. I bleed Honolulu blue. Yes, it was very upsetting. Yes, I thought this was our year, but like I just said, the Super Bowl window is not closed. We are going to have different personnel in the building, and we'll talk about that here in a short second. John Peterson, we going to hear OC and DC from within. Or we're going to hire. Sorry. Okay, we're going to hire. Yes, I think that that's the way to go. Let me get through these next few comments, and then we're going to talk about the coordinators. Perry Ball, Brad Holmes can't waste picks this draft. We need O-line, D-line help. Bad. Holmes needs to be smarter in free agency and stop signing injured players. Yeah, Holmes, yes, he does. Perry Ball and Nick, who do you want as OC and DC? I'm going to get into that in 1 second. John Peterson, BJ, a few plays every game, outsmart himself. Yes, he does. And he definitely did this game. You know, that 3rd and 1, like I said, was terrible. It was terrible. The 3rd and 1, I mean, we've done it all year, but this is not the time to do it. And especially when it results in a turnover, just go down, pound the rock, and put them out of their misery. 14-3, they're feeling pretty bad about themselves, and it's a completely different game. And then that JMO play, oh my goodness, yeah, terrible. So, bye-bye, Ben. Bye-bye. Perry Ball, Washington is good. If you give them an opportunity to win, they will. Yes, that is very true. You can't let them stick around. I said this in last week's podcast. You let them hang around. You let them feel good about themselves. You let them get a lead. They're not going to let go. They're a team that you need to stomp and put away and not look in the rearview mirror. You got to keep going. And we didn't do that. They did that to us. It was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. All right, let's talk about it. It's here. It's here. We have been warned all season long and even the last few seasons that we may lose our coordinators, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Well, one is already out the door and in the doors of another organization, a rival organization. And Ben Johnson has been hired by the Chicago Bears. I don't know if you have the stomach to go and watch his introduction video, but he's already in the building over there in Chicago. He's made a video to the fans saying bear down and made me want to puke. But this is Judas. And I'm going to get into it. Here we go. You ready? This is my
Roar of the Week.
My Roar of the Week is my rant of the week. And I'm going to rant off right here, baby. Ben Johnson, you are Judas. Who do you think you are, man? Now, I know that this is a cycle where you have to pick the best team that gives you the best chance for success, and maybe you think that the number 1 overall pick in Caleb Williams and the receivers and all that situation that they have set up is the best spot for you, but let me tell you, it's the worst spot for you because you're going to a division rival, and now we get the chance to whoop that ass 2 times a year. Ben Johnson, what are you thinking, man? This is going to add fuel to the fire. I cannot believe that you went to a division rival. I thought it was the Raiders all the way if you were going anywhere. Maybe Jacksonville because you're going to have Trevor Lawrence there. But have a good time with that fingernail Peyton boy over there who has not proven himself, who, if you ask me, is not the number 1 quarterback out of this draft. Bo Nix is better. Jane Daniels is better. There's other ones out there who you could argue are better as well. But come on, Ben. A division rival? You're enemy number 1 now. Congratulations. You know what? You've earned this. I'll say congratulations. I'll give you your flowers. You've earned a head coaching job. But just like Mike McDaniels out of New England, I don't think you're going to have what it takes to be a good head coach in this league. And good luck with the Bears ownership and management and all that. You didn't get to get your GM that you wanted. You could have had the guy that's going to the Jets now, and you could have gone to the Raiders and been out of our whole division. But guess what? You're stuck with the Bears organization. You're stuck with their GM. You're stuck with their owner. And you're stuck with their fans. You're stuck with losing to the Lions 2 times a year now, buddy. I'm getting that off my chest. I'm glad you're gone. I went from loving you as our offensive coordinator to suddenly just hating you the second that I saw you were the head coach of the Bears. And I'm sorry. I wish you no luck going forward. I will say congratulations, but since you went to the Bears, I wish you 0 luck moving forward, and I think we'll be just fine. This is Dan Campbell's offense. Yes, you called up some crazy trick plays that worked great for us, and maybe you were an offensive genius at some times. You gave us our most points in a season. You gave us our most wins in a season, not just you, the team did. So, you know what? Thank you for that. But I wish you 0 success with the Bears. 0. And I cannot wait to stomp you guys out 2 times a year. Ben, it's no love over here anymore. Congratulations, but no love. All right, that was my roar of the week. And I'll get into it now. Who I want to replace Ben Johnson. I have a few in mind. And I think they all should come from in-house. I think that, Dan Campbell said in the press conference that it's very important that Goff is in the hiring process as well, that he feels comfortable with who we have, and that we keep the same, we keep the same language. They don't switch that up. They're going to keep that. They want all that to be the same so it doesn't mess up Goff, because when you switch that up, it's like learning a new language for them, and you don't want to do that. Yes, you want your new offensive coordinator to bring his own flair and whatnot to the game, but no matter what, Dan Campbell's going to be heavily involved with the offense. He said in a presser that where he messed up when he first came here was he wasn't really involved with Anthony Lynn, and he didn't really know the personnel he needed to go get and all this, because he just left it to Anthony Lynn and he wasn't really involved. He said that was his biggest mistake as a head coach so far. So best believe Dan will be heavily involved with the offense moving forward. You're going to see the core plays. We're going to keep a lot of what we had with Ben Johnson. This was Dan Campbell's offense first. And yeah, we Ben Johnson, he can take the playbook too, but we keep that. We see how it was, and we've had guys who've worked with this playbook while Ben Johnson has been here. So I think it's important to stay in-house, and these are my top candidates. I'm going to go down the list with who I want 1 through 3. I'm giving you 3. My first top candidate that I would like to see us hire is Scotty Montgomery, the running back coach and the assistant head coach to Dan Campbell. I think that he's more than ready to take on a coordinator role. I have not seen him call plays yet, but when you listen to this guy speak to his players, he's ready for a bigger role. He's already the assistant head coach, but Scotty Montgomery is smart. I think we need to run the ball more. I know that that's our bread and butter is the run game, and then we set up the play action. But, on that 3rd and 1, I think Scotty Montgomery pounds it up the middle with Demo or Jahmyr Gibbs, who is hot all game. And I like Scotty Montgomery. He's a bright mind. He's a player's coach. And I don't think that he will be stupid when we need to be smart. So that's my number 1 pick, Scotty Montgomery, assistant coach, running backs coach. Make him the OC. My number 2 pick, which is going around Lions Twitter everywhere, Tanner Engstrand. And I don't know if I said that correct, but that is the passing game coordinator. He was pretty much Ben Johnson's apprentice, his right-hand man. He worked there with Goff all year long. He knows the passing game. He knows the playbook, as Scotty Montgomery does. But this is a guy that they've been raving about. They say that he's another bright young mind that they can see being a big-time coach in this league in the future, another offensive mind who could be, just like they say maybe even better than Ben Johnson. So he's a guy, if he already knows the system, he's good and familiar with Goff. Goff's comfortable with him. I'm not upset if he's in there, especially if he was Ben Johnson's kind of little apprentice over there. And, so it's just kind of like handing it off to the next guy. And he'll put his own little flair on it. I'm sure that he's got his own ideas away from Ben, but he already knows the playbook. He knows what style he likes to do. He knows what Goff likes, so would not be mad about that at all either. And my 3rd pick for in-house candidate, now this is a dark horse one, but I like him. I think he's smart, and he's another player's coach. Sorry, I'm trying to get center. And I think the guys love him, and I think that he would be great as an offensive coordinator, a play caller that maybe a lot of people aren't thinking about. But this was brought to my attention the other day from my grandfather. But Antoine Randall L, I think would do a good job as OC as well. Very smart player. He's played in this league. He knows what it takes to win, and he's not scared to take risks either. I don't think so. I wouldn't mind having any of those 3, and that is my order that I would go in: Scotty Montgomery, Tanner Engstrand, and Antoine Randall L. All in-house options, and I think we need to stay in-house, especially for Goff. He's been rolling. We need to keep that same terminology. Can't give him a foreign language, and we need guys who kind of already know our style. All 3 of these guys do, and they can add their own flavor to it. I'd be happy with any one of those. I want to know who you think we should hire as our next offensive coordinator. Those are my top 3, and I'll say it one more time. Scotty Montgomery, Tanner Engstrand, and Antoine Randall L. How are we feeling about that? How are we feeling about that? You with me or you against me? You with me or you against me on that? I'm going to get back over to these comments and see what's going on here. Perry Ball says, hopefully Dan Campbell learns from this loss. Yeah, and I think he will. You know, he was pretty upset, and you can't really put it all on Dan Campbell, though. You know, they fought as hard as they could for as long as they could with those injuries they had, and the offense was just off. You know, we knew that we could not rely on the defense going into that game. We did expect, you know, them to make a few more stops probably, but when you turn over the ball that many times, you're not going to win a game. You're not going to win a game. All right, here we go. Perry Ball says there's no guarantee Ben Johnson can win with the Bears. That's right. That's right. Perry Ball also says it's a whole different game being a head coach versus being an OC. That is true, and I think that he's going to learn the hard way, especially in the North. I know that they have a good situation going over there that you're just walking into, but their offensive line is not good at all. They do have weapons. They have a young quarterback who was drafted first overall. They have a good defense. But you're coming into a top division already with the Lions winning 15 games last year. The Minnesota Vikings won 14. The Packers had a great season too. They won 11 or 12? And then you had the Bears way down there. You're coming into a very tough division, and you expect to win right away? I don't think so. Kenny Rucker, what's up? Ben Johnson could have gone anywhere else, decided to go to Chicago. Terrible. Yeah, it's absolutely, he's a traitor. He is a traitor. I'm happy that he got a job. That's what he wanted. Good for you. Congratulations. But, dude, you are enemy number one now. Get out of my face. I cannot stand you anymore, Ben Johnson. You ugly mug. That's all I got to say. John Peterson with 23 free agents. Have we let any players go? Yeah. James Mitchell today. James Mitchell, tight end. We did not sign him to a futures contract, and I have that list as well for us. We signed a bunch of people to a futures contract, but James Mitchell, tight end, who we drafted a few years ago, has been picked up by the Carolina Panthers. So he is gone. That's just one guy. I know that there's going to be more, but let me get this list real quick for you of our free agents that we designated to future contracts. Abram Beauplan, Kingsley Iguankin, I'm sorry, I butchered that. Jake Fromm, Darren Gilbert, Eric Hallett, Jamarco Jones, Tom Kennedy, Lions legend, back, signed to a future contract. Chris Smith, good signing. Lauren Strickland, Stanley Thomas Oliver, and Isaac Ukwu. So I like a few of those. Ukwu, good. Lauren Strickland, good. Stanley, Chris Smith, Tom Kennedy, all good, pretty much on that right side of the list. But there was a few that we didn't, and James Mitchell was one of those. He got picked up by the Panthers already, so he gone. Now, there are a bunch of other guys that we have that are going to be key free agents who cannot sign with other teams until the playoffs, all that, till free agency actually starts because they are on the 53-man roster or they were put on IR. But the reason why James Mitchell could go is because he was a practice squad player and we didn't sign him to a futures contract. If you're a practice squad player and we kind of let you go, you know, then you're allowed to sign with anybody right now. I believe Quan Alexander. There's a few other ones out there that could go and sign with anybody right now that we didn't pick up right away. But the guys who are on our 53-man roster who we placed on IR, they have to wait until free agency comes. Now these, and let's get into it. You know, I got these new segments. So I'm going to pull some up, and this is
Free agency.
All right, free agency. Here we go. I hope you like this new stuff. I'm trying to add some stuff to the show, make it a little bit more fun and exciting for you guys. But here are some key free agents that we're going to need to bring back or make a decision on. Not need to bring back, but need to make a decision on this offseason. Carlton Davis, big one. Kevin Zeitler, Levi Onwuzurike, Derek Barnes, Marcus Davenport, Tim Patrick, Dan Skipper, Muhammad, Kendall Vildor, Pat O'Connor, Ben Neiman, Ifatu Melifonwu, Allen Robinson, Zeke Turner, Khalil Dorsey, Emmanuel Mosley, John Kaminsky, and Jonah Williams. So some of those are big names. Personally, I would love to bring back Carlton Davis, especially with what our D-back room is kind of looking like. You know, he went out with a broken jaw, should have wore that mouth guard or however the hell that happened. I don't know. It happens. But I would like to bring Carlton Davis just back for one more year, let Ennis Rakestraw, get his feet wet with a veteran presence there. Amik we will have there for another year, but his arm injury, he should be back by the regular season, I would expect. But Amik, he's a dog. He showed up there towards the end of the season, and he played well pretty much the entire season, but he really came through at the end. But I would like Carlton Davis to be there. Terrion Arnold still has some room to grow. He is getting better. But with the DB room the way that it was, I liked Carlton Davis. I think he embraced the whole Lions mentality. And, he's a dog. He's gritty. So bring him back for one more year if you can on a lower contract. I think that injury does kind of help us because he missed a lot of games to where maybe he does get to have one more prove-it year, and we can be that team to where he proves it again. And I think he likes playing with the Lions as well. I would also like to bring back Zeitler for 1 year. We don't necessarily need to. I think Mahogany is going to be stepping up in a big way. That's another gem that we found in this draft. This last year, late-round draft pick, and he turned out to be an absolute stud for us on the offensive line. He calls himself the dirtbag, and he plays like it. So we could see them letting Zeitler go. He is older, and letting Mahogany step in there full-time now and let the youth take over, I liked what I saw from him. Levi, wouldn't mind bringing him back just because we need depth on that defensive line. He did start to shine this year, but he's still kind of injury-prone. He was banged up, in and out all year. This was his most healthy year. This was his most productive year. But he was another draft pick that was kind of ended up being a bust. He was a second-round draft pick and didn't pan out the way that we wanted him to. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Derek Barnes, I wouldn't mind bringing back. Marcus Davenport's got to be the lowest contract ever because you can't stay healthy, guy. And we probably could get him for very cheap because he hasn't played almost 2 entire seasons. So maybe we do bring him back. Tim Patrick, like what we did there with him. Dan Skipper, he's a Lion. And the rest, are really up for debate. Iffy, I don't know if Iffy will come back. I liked what he did, but he didn't play up to par this year. Obviously, he was hurt the most of the year, but when he came back, he wasn't that same Iffy that we had last year. Yes, he was flying around. He made some good plays. But with Brian Branch back there now, and, Kirby Joseph, I think that we're going to have to give him a big contract. I don't know if they re-sign Iffy. Now, he was hurt the most of the year. We probably could get a good deal for him, but there's going to be other teams who want him too just because of what they saw that he did last year for the team and what he did when he was out there on the field. But a lot of big decisions to make. But those are the key free agents right there that we have to look at in this off season. That's what we were asking about. That's what we got. Perry Ball reports is that our O-line coach is the run game caller. Okay, yeah, and this is a deal. You brought up a great point there. We are not only in jeopardy of losing. Well, we lost Ben Johnson, but Aaron Glenn very possibly going to the Jets or the Saints. The word on the street is that they do not want Aaron Glenn leaving the building when he interviews with the Jets today. They want to sign him, but the Saints did have to postpone an interview that they were going to have with Aaron Glenn to next week due to some weather, something going on down there. And so, if Aaron Glenn wants to hear from the Saints and give them a chance, then he won't get hired until next week because he has to hear them out and go and visit with them. But if he really likes what the Jets bring to him, he's gone today. And then we'll have to replace the defensive coordinator as well, which we're already expecting. And I'll talk about who I want to get in that position as well. But you brought up our offensive line coach, Hank Fraley, and he's actually getting his second interview with the Seattle Seahawks for their offensive coordinating position. And that would be a huge blow. Penei Sewell said he ain't going nowhere. Penei Sewell does not want him to leave anywhere. Frank Ragnow says he does not know NFL football without Hank. He's never played on a team without Hank. Hank's been with the Lions, but Hank's been with the Lions the whole time that Frank's been here. He's been with Frank, and Frank doesn't know if he could play another snap in the NFL without Hank, is what he said. So if Hank goes, maybe Frank is done as well, which would be terrible. And that would be a huge blow to that offensive line. Not just losing Frank would be the worst with Hank. But losing Hank would be a huge blow to that offensive line. Now, on the other side of the ball, the defensive line coach, Terrell Williams, is being targeted by the Patriots as their defensive coordinator. And, this is the first time that Williams has been in the building with us this year, but he made a big difference. You saw how that defensive line was working even when they were banged up and hurt. But a lot of the in-house guys have high praise for Williams. They brought him over for a reason, and he did a lot of good work for the defensive line. So that would be another blow as well. I do think that is a position that we can maybe fill easier than that offensive line position, because this was his first season with us anyways. So we had to replace that last year. Terrell Williams is a good coach, obviously, because the Patriots want to have him as the defensive coordinator. He came from the Titans before us. But, yeah, him and Hank leaving would be a blow to the team as well. That would be 4 coaches we would need to replace. And who knows? Ben Johnson might want to take Tanner with him over to Chicago. Maybe we offer him a better job here, talking about Tanner Ingstrand. So we don't know who else we're going to have to replace as well. It might not just be Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. It might be Hank Fraley, Terrell Williams. It might be a few other coordinators as well a few other coaches down the line who have a working relationship with these coaches who are heading elsewhere. We also got to brace ourselves to lose some players to these coaches when they go to the other teams as well, because they want to help set their tone, set their culture in the locker room, and you have to have some guys who already believe in you and have already been with you. So, yeah, get ready for that. Get ready for that. Kenny Rucker says, oh, hold on. We got a few up here before I get to Kenny. My fault. Perry says, Davenport, Mosley, Levi, Pascal can all be let go. Yeah, Mosley definitely, he hasn't been doing anything for us. Levi, he showed some promise, but not really. Yeah, Pascal had a big time penalty in this last game, and he'll be more of a backup depth player moving forward, if anything, because I think that in the draft we're going to be getting some defensive line. But Davenport, I'm with you as well. If we're going to bring him back, it's got to be the cheapest contract ever. Kenny says, fantastic. Thank you, Kenny. Angry MSU Detroit fan, mood not good. Me neither. And yeah, I can tell you're very angry because you're normally just MSU Detroit fan. We got the angry in front of it today. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's not a good time to be a Lions fan. I thought that we definitely should have won that game on Saturday, and we had our chances to. We should be talking about playing in the NFC Championship, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're in the offseason now. I am also angry with you, MSU Detroit fan. Kenny Rucker, well, after that helmet-to-helmet on Goff that did not get called, will that kind of ruin the game for us? Yeah, there's arguments going around, rumors, conspiracies that Goff was actually concussed, and he was just trying to be tough and get back in there for us. Excuse me. No doubt it made a difference on him. It was a dirty hit. Should have been flagged. They don't score the touchdown there if that happens. Now, they're going to get good field position no matter what. Maybe they score, but maybe it's a field goal. Maybe it's not a touchdown. No matter what, that changed the game along with the other turnovers, but that was a terrible, dirty hit. Luvu, you got it coming to you, bro. Just saying. Angry MSU Detroit fan, isn't Robinson on a 2-year deal? You talk about Amik? Yeah. So Amik will be here next year. I was talking about Carlton Davis earlier. Amik will definitely be here. We got him, so that's good. Him, Terrion. Hopefully we see more of Ennis Rakestraw next year because, that was a second-round pick who didn't see the field hardly at all. He was injured almost the whole entire year. Now, he did say in an interview at the end of the year just a few days ago that he was scheduled to start against the Bucs, but then had a hamstring injury right before the game. So that just, derailed everything for him and his playing time moving forward. But hopefully we see more out of him. But yes, Amik Robertson will definitely be here next year for sure. Hatter's House, He said, it's my fault. I missed last week's show. Shaking my head. It is not. It is not your fault. On to next year. Hatter's House, how you doing, man? How'd you deal with those fires? You doing okay down there in SoCal? I sent out my thoughts and prayers to you the last few weeks because, I didn't see you in here, but I knew that you were dealing with some crazy fires. It is not your fault, though, Hatter's House. It is a full team effort. It was their fault. I was superstitious as well. There was a few things that I didn't do on my end that maybe I would have normally done. So, it was a team effort from all of us. Angry MSU Detroit fan, Carlton Davis should definitely be a re-sign in the upcoming free agency. Yes, and I want him for sure back. He just embraced our whole mentality, and he proved himself. There was a few plays at the beginning of the season where I was like, oh, man, he's not what he looks like or what we brought him in for, but he got it together quick. He learned that defense quick, and he was a dog for us. Angry MSU Detroit fan also says, Tim Patrick is someone I want to re-sign, but if we don't re-sign him, we can find someone to replace him in either free agency or the draft. 100%. Yeah, we did it with, Reynolds the year before. We just got to find that type of receiver. Tim Patrick was, I think, a little bit more of a dog than Reynolds. He brought a little bit more to the table. Goff and Reynolds had more of chemistry because they had their years in LA and whatnot, but same body type, same build, same type of receiver. We can go out and find one of those for sure to work in our offense. But I do want to see us bring Tim Patrick back. I liked his style of play and his mentality too. I think he likes being a Lion as well. Angry MSU Detroit fan definitely can see us getting some extra picks with us losing both AG and BG. Yeah, so we'll definitely get one for losing Aaron Glenn this year and next year, I believe. We would get a third-round pick this year from AG. Ben, I don't think we get a conditional one. He's a white boy, so we don't get anything for that. But maybe he trades for somebody that we have. I know that he's got Caleb Williams over there already. But, there was rumors if he went to the Raiders that he was going to trade for Hendon Hooker and bring him over with him. Maybe a second-round pick. That would have been good. But, yeah, with the Bears, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I would love to pick up a few more picks for this draft because I'm going to get into that talk real quick here in a second. Angry MSU Detroit fan, we only have 5 picks this upcoming draft as we don't have a 3rd and 5th round. Okay, we're already talking about it. And let's get into it, okay? I got new segments. Let's get it.
Draft Talk.
Yes, it's Draft Talk time. And just as MSU Detroit fan pointed out, we are missing a few picks. These are the picks that we have coming into the draft without getting our compensatory pick from AG and all that yet, because he has not signed a contract with anybody yet. But first round, we have the 28th overall pick. Second round, we are the 60th pick. Then we don't have a 3rd round pick. Our 4th round pick is to be determined. Our 6th round pick from Tampa Bay is to be determined. Our 7th round pick from Dallas is to be determined, and then we have another 7th round pick. But we should get a 3rd round pick there once AG signs with whoever he's going to go and coach. And we don't have a 5th, so it'd be nice to pick up a 5th there. But Angry MSU Detroit fan did point that out right before I got into the draft talk. Thank you for segueing into that segment. But yes, we don't have a 3rd and 5th, just like they pointed out. And MSU Detroit fan also says 3rd went to the Jets from trading up to get Giovanni Manu last year, and 5th going to the Browns for Cedarius Smith. Yes. So, yeah, we got the Tampa 4th and getting Carlton Davis, but our own 4th is going to Cleveland for Donovan Peoples-Jones. You always got some great insight in here, Angry MSU Detroit fan. You always keep me on my toes, and thank you for letting the people know. But yes, that is what our draft is looking like, and I have seen a few mock drafts going around. Most people have us taking an edge or an O-lineman, and I have even seen a few where we take a corner. But me personally, I want our picks in the trenches. D-line, O-line. Our offensive line is not getting any younger. Taylor Decker, we have him for a few more years, but he's getting up there. Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow, both not getting any younger. But, Penei Sewell's going to be there for a while. Mahogany, I think we hit on. Zeitler, we got to bring back if we want to bring him back. So, and he's the oldest player on our team. So go out there and get a few offensive linemen. Now, of course, I want some help for Hutch over there. On the defensive side, I'm not sure if we bring Zadarius Smith back. I think he did fine for what he did. He's got a high motor. He likes being in Detroit, but, once it really started to matter, he wasn't getting a lot of sacks. He did do well in the Minnesota game. I'll give him that. But against Washington, I didn't see him do a ton. And, I think that he would be more of a depth piece moving forward if we were to draft an edge. I do like what maybe him and Hutch could do together. We got to see that as well. But there is no guarantee that we bring Zadarius Smith back, even though he is on a contract. We did sign, when we brought him over, he had 2 years left on his contract. So, maybe give him a chance, especially if he is under contract. But we could also trade him and pick up, maybe get that 5th rounder back or something. I don't know, but it's not a guarantee he comes back. And I think that we definitely need to go and get another edge. Now, CBS Sports thinks that we should get Landon Jackson, the edge out of Arkansas. And so does USA Today. But then the Sporting News, I don't know much about them, but this was just one of the mock drafts that I saw, thinks that we should get Jack Sawyer, the edge from Ohio State. I'm good with either one of those guys. They both got high motor. They both fit our style of play, I feel like. I feel like they would embrace the Dan Campbell play, and they could help out that defense. Sawyer across the other side from Hutch would be insane. Same with the guy from Arkansas. So I'm okay with it. But yes, to answer your question, Perry, as of now, we only have 6 draft picks. So 1st round, 2nd round, 4th round, 6th round, and 2 7th rounds. But we should be getting a 3rd round if Aaron Glenn, when he takes a head coaching job elsewhere. We will get that 3rd round compensation pick for him. John Peterson, 2025 draft, first 3 picks, any order, D-end, CB, O-line. Yeah. D-end, cornerback, or offensive lineman. I'm with you. That's what it seems like the draft picks, the mock drafts have been with as well. I do want to see us, like I said, I've said this multiple times during this podcast, that I want to bring Carlton Davis back. Just having that vet presence in the locker room. Amik Robertson, too. Amik actually is a true, cornerback out there. He can hold down the island. He did it against Justin Jefferson. I think that Carlton Davis brings a little bit more to the table, so that's why I would like to have him back. Amik plays that nickel a little bit more solid, even though, like I said, he held down JJ. But bring back Carlton Davis for that fact. If we do draft a corner, he can learn under him as well. Because, Terry, no disrespect to you, you're only going to be in year 2. You got some learning to do as well still, too, even though I like you, Terrion. I think you're going to be a great cornerback in this league. All right, Perry Ball says, we will have Smith next year and hopefully a healthy Hutchinson. All right, that's where you're at. And I didn't mind what he did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want him gone. No way. I think that him and Hutch together could work well, but I'm not sure that it happens. That we do need some other picks, and maybe they're going to go with youth. Maybe they're going to trust in Davenport's, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not a guarantee he comes back, even though he is on contract. Zach J, what up? Good to see you in here. Perry Ball says, Smith is good, veteran D-end. We can pick D-end in the draft. True, and if we do, I think that eventually Zadarius Smith becomes a depth piece. Now, it never hurts to have good depth pieces or rotational pieces, because we saw what happened this year. That D-line, my goodness, the whole defense. I mean, the injury bug hit him like nothing I've ever seen before as a Lions fan. So wouldn't hurt to keep him just for that case as well. But, I did like what he brought. He's consistent. He's not like your big time go out there and produce a ton of sacks for you anymore type player. But he is consistent, and he brings that motor where he's going to give it his all every single play. So I do like that about him. No, please, I just saw something there. I don't know if you're lying to me, but I saw something down in the comments, and I will address that here once I get to that, because I haven't seen anything on my end. Oh, man, there it is. Oh, no, there it is. It's a rumor, but here we go. Okay, Silent Service says, Sorry, I'm skipping you, MSU Detroit fan. I'll come back to it right now. Never mind. Angry MSU Detroit fan. Okay, hold on. I'm skipping a lot of it. Zach J says, do you think Frank Ragnow retires? If so, center may become our number one need. Well, this is going to get into what MP just said down here. Hank Fraley is rumored to go to the Chicago Bears with Ben Johnson. This was just reported by Crunch Time Sports. Rumors are that Ben Johnson will take O-line coach Hank Fraley to Chicago to join his staff, per Detroit podcast. That is brutal. If we lose Hank, like I said earlier, we could lose Frank. Frank could definitely retire if we lose Hank. And the reason why I say that, because Frank just publicly stated he does not know NFL football without Hank, and he doesn't know if he wants to play another snap without Hank. He says he's not going anywhere. That's what Panay Sewell says. Well, looks like rumors say otherwise, and it is just a rumor for now. It's just a rumor. I haven't seen anything that solidifies that he's actually going there 100%. But it has been reported that he's rumored to go over there. So that is terrible news to hear. That's brutal, brutal news. He is a staple to this offense. He has that offensive line looking great week in and week out. He's developed a ton of offensive linemen for us. And to lose him might mean that we lose Frank, and that would be terrible. That would be, yeah, we'd have to go, I'd say center first pick. First pick overall if we lose Frank Ragnow. We do have Graham. Graham could fill in for a year at center. But my goodness, that would shake up everything if Frank Ragnow retires, if Hank leaves 100%. Now, it's looking like it might happen. It is a rumor as of now. It's been reported by Crunch Time Sports and Detroit Podcast, but I have not seen it from Ian Rappaport. I have not seen it from Adam Schefter. I haven't seen it from Tom Pelissero. I haven't seen it from any of those guys yet. So until I see that, I'm going to hold out hope that it's just a rumor. But my goodness, that would be terrible, terrible news if he joins Ben Johnson. Just Judas of these guys. How can you go to a division rival? How can you do this to us? We still got the team over here to win the Super Bowl. Stay with us. The Bears ain't going nowhere. The heck are we doing? The heck are y'all doing? My goodness. My goodness. God. All right. I don't even know where I was now. Okay, Perry Ball. Like he did it last year with the CBs. Yes, okay. Angry MSU Detroit fan, D-end or offensive tackle for round one. Well, if Frank's gone, I am going with a center. Julius Blackwell, get the hell out of here with that bear down crap. We don't want you over here. You and Ben Johnson go in your corner, and, you know, I'm not going to get into it. I got a lot of angry things to say. Just get the hell out of here, Julius. We don't like that talk over here. We own you. You lost twice to us, and you're going to continue to lose to us. Ben Johnson is not going to be your savior, just to let you know. MP, get the hell out. Bear down, what the hell? Why do we got Bears fans in here? You guys really love us that much that you just want to pay attention to everything that we're talking about, don't you? Ben Johnson wasn't enough to be in your building. Now Hank isn't enough to be in your building. You just got to come over and try to talk to us on these podcasts because you're so infatuated with the Lions, aren't you? You're so infatuated with us that you want to be us so bad that you got to bring all of our coaches over there. And now you got to come in our podcast and talk to us? Get out of here. You do want to be us. I can see it. You really want to be us. You really want to be us. But guess what? You don't got Dan Campbell. You don't got the roster. Caleb Williams is going to be a fraud. He's worse than Jalen Daniels. He's worse than Bo Nix. He's not your savior. Have fun sucking for the next few years. All right, let's go. All right, John Peterson says, how much cap space for the Lions are we in top 10s for space? Well, we have, according to Over the Cap, we have $57 million in cap space. But then when you look at Sport Track, they say that we have $67 million in cap space. And that says 6th overall. So we're in the top 10. According to Sport Track, we have a lot of money. We can go and make a lot of moves now. We don't have Bears money. We don't have some of these other teams' money. But we do have a great roster already, and we can go out and make some moves to fill in some key holes. I expect us to make some moves over there on the defensive line, defensive side. Number one, maybe we bring in another vet offensive lineman, or we re-sign Zeitler. We have a lot of guys that we want to bring back, and I know that we also like to pay our guys who have done good by us and give them extensions. Don't be surprised if Kirby Joseph gets an extension this offseason. Don't be surprised if Aiden Hutchinson, even though he missed the majority of the year, gets his extension. He still proved that he's a dog. But we got plenty of money to go and do this. Our window is still open. A lot of people are saying, oh, your window's closed. You're losing Ben Johnson. You're losing Aaron Glenn. You're going to lose players. You're not going to have as much cap. Well, that's cap. Our window is not closed. We still run the North over here. We're still the champs last time I looked. We still got Jared Goff. We still got that offensive line. We still got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo. We ain't stopping. Window ain't closed. It's wide open, baby. It's wide open. All right. Angry MSU Detroit fan, I would like us to draft a D-end now, get that second rusher developed now, while having Smith as a veteran third option next to Josh Pascal at 4. Okay, yeah, and I'm not upset at all if we go get a D-end, but it's going to matter what happens here in the next few weeks. Like, if Frank actually retires, that would be devastating to our team. We would definitely need to go and get a top offensive lineman or a center right off the bat, I feel like. But D-end, would not mind getting that with our first pick. Pair it up with Hutch. Be unstoppable for years to come. Let's go. Okay. Lori King, good to see you back in here. My apologies. I would be here on time, but Derek had a live Lions Syndicate show. Yeah, I didn't even know he was going the same time as me. Derek, what the heck, man? Come on, bro. We're a team. We're a team. No, I'm just kidding. That's my boss, and he's got his other channel over there. We both like to talk Lions. Tuesdays are my day, though. I'm over here every Tuesday. You know where to find me. But good to see you in here, Lori King. Zach J, the latest shows Hank Fairley interviewing for Seahawks OC. Yeah, that's what I saw as well, that he had a second interview for an offensive coordinating position with the Seahawks. If he's going to the Bears, that's where I would see it would have to be. Because if he's getting offers from the Seahawks to be an offensive coordinator, why would you go to the Bears just to be their offensive line coach? Why wouldn't you stay with the team that you've been with forever, who's better, who has more promise, and whose window is right there to go grab a Super Bowl? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me to go to the Bears just to be the offensive line coach. I would see it being the offensive coordinator, if anything. All right, Julius Blackwell, bear down. Yeah, we see that. Yeah. Angry MSU Detroit fan, need more David Montgomery and Patrick Kane. Yeah, how do you feel about that? Demo, you guys wrote him off like he was nothing. That man has had a way better career with the Lions. How y'all like that? That your players come and do so much better for our team than they did for years. Even DeAndre Swift played better with the Lions. So hope you feel good about that. All right. Yeah, I see these guys. I might skip them. Julia says, will you tell YouTube to stop putting y'all crap on my page? I mean, it's the algorithm. You're probably looking up Lions stuff. That's why I'm showing up. MP, yes, we love you and want all your coaches. I know. Julius Blackwell says, bro, you ain't got to be mad. We don't have nothing invested in this but our eyeballs. Hey, man, Bears are public enemy number 2. We care more about the Packers and Vikings, I guess. They're more of a threat. But, Bears fans, it's no love. It's no love over here, baby. I don't know what you expected coming over here. We don't got to be mad. We don't like you. We just don't like you. That's just how it is, okay? We never have. We never will. Lions don't like the Bears. You don't got to be mad that I'm mad. I'm not even mad. I just don't like the Bears, okay? Here we go. All righty. How fitting. They say bear down, always down on the standings. That is correct. It is funny that they use that as their thing. I can be a moderator to help you on the Bears fan. Yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do. Lori. MP, we're even now. Y'all took Montgomery. From what I heard, you guys ran Montgomery out of town. So I wouldn't say it's even. I thought that you guys didn't want him anymore. A few people didn't want Ben after this last outing against the Commanders, and I would say maybe we will be better without him. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's even there at all. You guys didn't want Monty no more, and we gladly embraced Monty. Julius says, okay, no YouTube is putting your stuff on our page is so we can troll y'all. Okay, well, you're trolling. Lori King, Bears does not have Sonic and Knuckles, St. Brown, Hutch, Williams, plus 20 other great players. Yeah, they're way behind us. And now that I am talking about the Bears, everybody is left is what it looks like. So here we go. All right, Nick, you need moderators. That is true. If you want, go ahead and report these guys. But yeah, Bears fans think that they are once again celebrating. Do you remember last year when the Bears fans said they were going to the Super Bowl after they drafted Caleb Williams and that they were going to run the North now and it was a new era and all this, and then they came out and won 5 games this year? Hey, all those weapons didn't matter, did they? You had the best situation for a rookie quarterback to go into, and it didn't matter. 2 rookie quarterbacks outperformed Caleb Williams. All right, enough with the bear talk, enough with the parrot talk. You have to do something on your side to make me one. Okay. Angry MSU Detroit fan says, Lions signed former Michigan wide receiver Ronnie Bell to a futures contract. I did see that. I was about to get to that, but that's what I have MSU Detroit fan here for, always keeping that news rolling for me so I can just read it off in the comments instead of looking at my news over here. Thank you, MSU Detroit fan. Zach J., I'm less worried about our coordinators leaving and more worried about them try to poach half of our staff as they leave. Yes, that is the biggest concern, and that is what is rumored to be happening. Hank Fraley going to the Bears would not be good news for us. As I said, it's a rumor. I have not seen anything set in stone. It has not been reported by a 100% credible source. Ian Rappaport hasn't reported it. Adam Schefter, the Bears haven't. Nobody's reported it. It's a rumor. It says rumors are that Ben Johnson will take O-line coach Hank Fraley to Chicago to join his staff. Hank, you better hope that it's for the OC job, man, because if you just go over there as an offensive line coach, that is also traitor mentality. Traitor mentality for sure. All right, y'all. There was a lot to talk about. It was a crazy episode. Zach says, plus if Aaron Glenn leaves, we get 2 compensatory picks. Yeah, 1 this year, 1 next year. So that'll be good. And he's definitely going. There's no way that he stays, is the way I see it. I thought that there might have been a chance that Ben Johnson did stay, just because the last few years, he's like, the job's not finished. I want to be here for something special. We got to finish something what we started. But he left. But Aaron Glenn, I expect to leave. Now, if I'm wrong, that's okay. That's okay too. But if he does go, that's good for draft picks as well. And I'm expecting him to go. Now, I'll get into one more thing. Since we are expecting Aaron Glenn to leave, I have one person in mind. Well, there's two. But one in-house person in mind to replace Aaron Glenn, and that is Kelvin Shepard. It's Shep, the linebackers coach. I think they've been grooming him for this for years to come, and I think he's ready to roll. I think he'll do great. The players love playing for him. He's a player's coach. He'll get the best out of them. He's a gritty guy. I think that he is a shoo-in for that position if AG leaves. Now, if we're not going to go in-house and this guy doesn't get a head coaching job, I wouldn't mind bringing Detroit native Robert Saleh back in to the city as our defensive coordinator. Didn't work out for him as a Jets head coach. There is a lot around that. The ownership there is really shaky. He had to deal with Rodgers and bringing in all of his players and trading away guys and all of this and that. So, I'll maybe give him a break there, but I think that he is a good defensive coordinator. He's proven himself with the Niners, and I wouldn't mind him coming in and stepping into that role if we're going out of house. If we're in-house, I like Kelvin Shepard, linebacker coach. If it's out of house, I like Robert Saleh. That's just me. MSU Detroit fan, I don't think you were here for my offensive coordinator spiel, but I'll let you know who I want. Since you said Antoine Randall L is my guy to be the next OC, that's who my grandfather also said. These are my 3, and all 3 in-house. I want Scotty Montgomery, I think he's just got a bright mind. When you hear him talk, the guy is, he gets you fired up. He's ready to be a head coach as well. He's the assistant head coach to Dan Campbell right now. He's already been offered head coaching jobs at colleges, and I think that, he could do a great job with that playbook. He already knows it. I think he'll be a little more run heavy, which maybe is what we need. People were calling for that this last game. So, I wouldn't mind. I think Scotty Montgomery would be a great candidate to step in at OC. I also like Tanner Engstrand. That's what everybody's talking about. He was Ben Johnson's right-hand man, his apprentice. He knows he's the pass game coordinator. Him and Goff spend a lot of time together as well. And Goff is going to have a huge say in who our next OC is. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was him, and I wouldn't be mad about it. But then my dark horse, I'm with you, angry MSU Detroit fan. Angry MSU Detroit fan. I'm angry with you. But Antoine Randall L. is also a guy I would not mind being our OC. The guys love him. He's played football in this league before. He's a very smart guy. He knows the pass game. He knows the offense. I think him and Goff could click as OC and QB. It would not be a bad move at all. Any three of them, I'm happy with. I want our offensive coordinator to be in-house 100%, especially because I want to keep the same terminology in order to do that. And so does Dan. Dan said that. He goes, we want to keep the same terminology. When you switch that up, it's like learning a whole new language. We can't do that to Goff. He's been rolling. We can't do that to the entire offense. So offensive coordinator to me needs to be in-house, and I'm with Scotty Montgomery, Tanner Engstrand, or Antoine Randall L. Those are my three guys for OC. For defensive coordinator, in-house, Kelvin Shepard. Outside, Robert Salah. That's me. That's where I'm at. I want to see what else you guys are thinking. Angry MSU Detroit fan said that he wants Antoine Randall L. Who do you guys want? Who do y'all want? I just want to hear from the fans. And who would you want at defensive coordinator? Who do you want at offensive coordinator? Who do you want at defensive coordinator? After I hear that, I'm probably going to get out of here. We hit the hour mark. I am going to go back and read this one. Here we go. It's not a rumor that offense, whatever. But I'm not going to lie. This is a Bears fan saying this. I'm not going to lie. I am quite sure Dan Campbell is going to put another excellent staff together for you guys. So just calm down. You might wind up with an offensive coordinator better than Ben. All right, I'll take that, Julius. I'll take that. Good sportsmanship. I'll take that, man. We can all be good sports here. Jared Goff sucked. He threw 3 interceptions in a game. That must have been when I started talking crap. Okay, that's a Bears fan in here. Yeah, Jared Goff didn't have his best game. We can talk crap. We can go back and forth. I have plenty of friends who root for other teams. We love to banter back and forth. This is a Lions channel, though, my guy. So just expect once you come in here and you start talking that bear down crap, you're going to be singled out and you're going to be called out for it. That's all. That's all it is. It's all good fun. But we still run the North, baby. Okay. Here we go. Where we at? All right, Perry Ball. I want us to bring in a veteran defensive coordinator. That's good. Okay, let me know who you're thinking. Do you have anybody off the top of your head that you can think of right now? I said Robert Salah. I think that would be a good addition. He's from Detroit. He's proven that he is a good defensive coordinator. The defense under him and the Jets were pretty good his first few years. This last year, he got fired halfway through. You can't get mad at him for that. And that was Aaron Rodgers' team. That wasn't anything else. So I wouldn't mind bringing him in. Lori King, remember all. Sheila Fordham says it gives more to the go for. Yeah, okay, sorry. She is totally behind her team of Holmes and Campbell. Yeah, she did send out a nice little message to the season ticket holders, the top fans in Detroit. She sent out a nice message saying, the first thing that she wanted to do when she got here was to sustain consistent success in Detroit. And I think that we're doing that. She's already on the way. We got back-to-back NFC North championships. We've been to the playoffs 2 years in a row. We just missed it the year before that. So the sustained success is there, but she wants more. That's what our whole motto is. It takes more. We want more. And you can tell that she's hungry and she wants to bring a Super Bowl to this city. Unlike past ownership who has never sent out a message like this, she felt sorry for the fans. She knows what we wanted, how disappointing this is, but she said, don't worry. we're going to get more. We're not even at our peak yet. Sheila can see the future, and she sees us hosting that Lombardi Trophy, baby. That's right. All right. Here we go. Lady Lion says, I want Montgomery too. Yes, I think he'd be a great candidate. I think he's ready to be a head coach, and he'll be the next one. After Aaron Glenn, he'll be the next one off the Dan Campbell coaching tree to get a head coaching position, if you ask me. Perry Ball says, our linebacker might be a good DC, but I want Salah so we can make it a real Super Bowl run. Okay, you don't believe in Kelvin? He's a young guy. Nobody believed in Ben. Look how that turned out. I wouldn't be mad either way. Salah or Kelvin Shepard, I'm good with it. Lori King, hey Nick, do you have a business email or Instagram? My business email is at nharksen1987@gmail.com. I will type that in the comments. Here we go. Oh, not .con. No, I'm not a con artist. It's not .con. It's .com. That's a typo. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Nick_Harksen. That's how you spell my last name right there. But NICK_Harksen. Okay? That is where I'm at. Zach J, thoughts on Terrell Williams for DC? Yeah, talked a little bit about this earlier. I'll talk about it more, though. Now it seems like the views are here. Everybody must have been talking with Derek. But, yeah, Terrell Williams has got interest from the Patriots as their defensive coordinator. I think that would be a big loss, too. I don't think it would be as big as losing Hank because we did already have to fill that void last year. We lost our defensive line coach the prior year. We brought in Terrell Williams as our coach this last year, and he did a great job. He's got a great reputation around the league. I think that defensive line did excellent for what we had. You know, we were so beat up all year long, and I think that he was a big part of that. He's got a lot to bring to the table, and to lose him would be a blow to this team, but we already filled that void last year. I'm not as concerned with that this year as I am losing our offensive line coach, Hank. That's just how I feel. It would be a big loss for sure. I think that, you know, our coaches in the trenches, Hank and Terrell Williams, both great guys, both deserve a better coaching position in this league. But I want them to stay. I definitely want them to stay, and it is concerning that we're starting to lose more pieces than just our coordinators. Angry MSU Detroit fan, if the Bears call the Lions for a trade, demand only first-round pick. That's right. You're going to have to give us the house, Ben. We gave you away. You got your head coaching position. Now help your boys out. Now help us out. Actually, I doubt they do that because we're going to stomp them into the ground 2 times a year, every year. I'm ready for it. MSU Detroit fan, if the Bears call the Lions. Oh, we just read that. Okay. Zach J, Eberflus. We talk about bringing Eberflus over to the Lions? I mean, he didn't do bad against us. He's not a head coach material. But is that what you're saying, Zach J? Bring Eberflus as a coordinator or a coach to the Lions? Might work out. I don't know. I'm not against it. John Peterson, how about Fatty P? No. If you don't know who Fatty P is, that is Matt Patricia, sorry. We don't want that pencil-wearing guy back in our building. He ruined a culture. He just completely shattered anything that was going on good over here. And some of the worst years being a Lions fan was during the Matt Patricia era, the Fatty P era. So I know you're joking. I hope you're joking. Definitely don't ever want him to step foot in a Lions facility ever again. Lori King, John Peterson was joking. He was joking. She says no Matt Patricia for DC, no. And Jack J said, oh, God, no. Yeah, it was a joke. I know John Peterson. He was joking. He's trying to get a rise out of all of us, and it worked. Lori King, she has done an amazing job talking about Sheila. Yes, she has. Lori King also says, I saw rumors that Ben Johnson wants Eberflus. Oh, wow. Keep him. Go ahead. That's fine. I think he means for DC. Yeah, that's what I thought as well, too. But, yeah, I don't know. Eberflus, he had a rough time in Chicago. He could stay there, though. How would Chicago fans react? That'd be hilarious if Ben Johnson's first hire under him was Eberflus back to the Bears. Bears fans would be like, what? They would lose their mind. They would lose their mind, and I would love that. But, you know, he could be a decent coordinator. He could be a decent coordinator. Zach J, I mean, the Bears coaching job is pretty appealing. More money and January's off. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we would have had to break the bank to keep Ben Johnson around. And you're right. You know, he probably was getting tired of coaching into January. Everybody else is sending him pictures. They're in Cancun. You know, it's he was getting jealous. He wanted to go and start his vacation early like all the rest of the league did. And, yeah. Oh, God. Here's another rumor. All right. I'm glad I'm staying on this because I just said Kelvin Shepard. I would like to be the defensive coordinator. Well, this is Crunch Time Sports reporting this again. And this is per Schultz report. Rumors are that if Aaron Glenn lands the head coaching job with the New York Jets, that Detroit Lions linebacker coach Kelvin Shepard will potentially go to be the defensive coordinator on his staff. Per Schultz report. The rumors keep rolling in for the Detroit Lions coaching staff. Oh, my God. Okay. So there goes my defensive coordinator option if he does go with Glenn. Now, that would, you know, maybe we could pay him if we do like him a lot, keep him in-house, be like, look, you've been building up with these guys here. You already know the personnel here. You know your players. You've been working with them for the last few years. Why don't you be the DC here? Why don't you be the DC here, not in New York? Now, him and Glenn probably have a good relationship. But come on, Kelvin. You don't got to go all the way to New York. You could stay right here in-house with a team that's ready to win, baby. We're ready to win, baby. But that's another rumor going around right now that we could potentially be losing Hank Fraley to the Bears, Kelvin Shepard to the Jets, and Terrell Williams, however you pronounce it, to the Patriots. So potentially 3 coaches, 3 more other than Ben Johnson and AG also out the window. Which is crazy. This is what happens when you have a good team. Everybody wants your coaches. But we still got Dan Campbell. He's going to go out there and find a great coaching, team to assemble him, fill in the void. I trust in Dan Campbell. I trust in Brad Holmes. I trust in Sheila Fordham. We're going to be okay. Zach J, that's what I just read. Lori King, Eberflus sucks on clock management. Yeah, he's terrible. That's why we won that first game. Easy. Perry Ball, though Dennis Allen was Ben Johnson for DC. Okay, yeah, there is the rumor that Dennis Allen from the Saints could go to the Bears. That was a rumor going around right when Ben Johnson was hired, that he's already been in talks with other coaches all last week, assembling his coaching staff. And, some Lions fans are really upset about that. They're like, oh, reports are that he was assembling his coaching staff all last week instead of focusing on the game. Well, we still put up 31 points. We put up over 500 yards. You can say what you want. He was a bonehead in some cases. I'm not saying that he threw the game, but yeah, take it how you want. But he was getting his squad together last week when he could have been fully focused on the game. I'll just leave it at that. All right, Lori King says, I thought Ben got $13 million per year for 3 years, but rumor is Raiders offered him $90 million for 6 years, which comes out to $15 million per year. Ben would have had to go in and completely start over in the Raiders. Bears do have a little bit, I guess if you look at all of the jobs out there that he was offered or that he was interested in, the Bears might be the most appealing. Money-wise, maybe not, but you got a young quarterback that he can groom. Their weapons are there for him. They don't have a good offensive line, though, so they're going to have to go out and get that. And their defense is good. But, yeah, that was probably the most appealing. I don't know why he would stay in the division. That is Judas to me. He's a traitor for that. But now he can get whooped twice a year. But, all right, y'all, I've been here for an hour and 15 minutes. I'll let y'all know the breaking news. There's probably going to be a lot more coming in the next few days, maybe today. But yes, Lori King, Ben is a traitor. Zach J says, I bet Ben Johnson dated his best friend's ex in high school. That kind of seems how it is, right? This is that kind of move. This is absolute blasphemy. How are you going to go to a division rival? And then just if you have the stomach to watch this, go watch his introductory little video to the Bears fans. It's pathetic. He says bear down. He says it all. It made me want to puke. No longer lying. You're the enemy now, Ben. You're the enemy. I think this is what Perry Ball says. I think Johnson's wife wants Chicago. Okay. Could be. Wives have a big say in this. Families have a big say in this. Lori King, thank you so much, Nick. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for coming back and being here. Thank you for being here. I enjoy your presence each and every week. And all of you. Lori also says, as Zach laugh out loud. I saw it. It was disgusting talking about that video. Okay, y'all. I've been here for almost an hour and 20 minutes. I appreciate everybody who stuck with me through this whole entire episode. Kingslayer says, I hope the Lions get Eberflus for DC. Okay, it's there. It wouldn't be a bad call, but he did play good against the Lions. He had our number. I would not mind him as a defensive coordinator. That'd be okay. Nothing more. Obviously, he can't be head coach. We got Dan Campbell, but Eberflus for DC wouldn't be that bad. Salah, I would like, and Kelvin Shepard. Please don't go with Aaron Glenn. Stay in the building. Stay in the building. But all right, love y'all. Thank you for supporting. I will be back here next Tuesday. I'm trying to make my show better and better each week. I'm here at 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central time, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Until next week, y'all. I hope you have a great week. And peace.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Oh, baby, that is big-time stuff! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Oh!